Hello there, and welcome. That was a bit shouty, wasn't it? I apologise. Hello there. My name's Dan. I'm a bit of a Warhammer veteran. I've got my first ever Warhammer Old World tournament today. It's been a bit of a last-minute thing. There's a chap called Dan Buchanan who is affiliated with this AOS club that I've forgotten the name of. Warrior Lodge, that's it. He's running his own Old World tournament, which apparently isn't through the Warrior. I don't understand. Anyway, he's running his Old World tournament over in Mansfield, which is about an hour and 20 away from me. The time is now 8:05. I'm about an hour and 17 minutes away. Google Maps says ETA 9:22. Kickoff is at 9:30. So I'm already stressed because I don't like being late for things, and I'm running the risk of being late. I've not had breakfast. I've been terribly disorganised. We had a bit of a family thing last evening, so I've had a very busy week. I'm trotting out all the excuses already as to why I'm going to come last. But in all seriousness, I probably am, because I've got an ogre list that's pretty terrible. I don't see. I've seen some of the other lists that people are taking. There's very few that I see mine actually being able to beat. But well, I might have misjudged ogres, but we'll play it by ear. The problem that I think ogres have is that my list has is that I don't really have much chaff to protect units, so I don't know how good anything's going to be. Magic, I'm leaning on magic quite heavily because that's the only thing I think that can give me a bit of extra. Rather than go for a tyrant on a Stonehorn, I've gone for a bruiser so I can take a Slaughtermaster. It's a 1750 game, so my list is basically I've got a bruiser on foot because I just had 100 spare points. I've got a bruiser on a Stonehorn to give me a monster. I have a slaughter. The bruiser on Stonehorn has I think it's called the gut plate, and basically what that does is wounds caused in challenges heal the owner of the gut plate. So he's probably going to stick around all game no matter what, because I'm just going to keep chucking him into combats, keep doing challenges, keep getting some wounds back. So whatever my opponent does to him, the problem is though, it's just like a level 6 thing with only a 4-up save and no other protection. Like, I probably should have taken the Talisman of Protection. I just get the sense that I can get more wounds back over in battle, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I've got a Slaughtermaster who's a level 4 wizard, and he has the Cauldron. The Cauldron does an extra impact hit and something else that I can't remember. It's going well. I've got 2 units of 6 Ogre Bulls to fill out the core, pay the core tax, as it were. They're okay. They've got 3 wounds each, which is pretty good, but they are like nearly 60. No, how many points are they? They're quite a lot of points for essentially just 3 wounds with light armour. The toughness. So yeah, a unit of 6 of them is like 18 wounds at toughness 4, but it's only got a 6-up save. So, and they do quite a lot of attacks, and they do cause fear. So they're sort of good, but sort of terrible at the same time. A shooting heavy army is just going to take me to pieces. I've got no armour, basically. And I think that's the problem with ogres. They've just got no armour. They've got nothing to defend themselves with other than weight of wounds, but actually they're pointed for their wounds. So it's quite difficult to work out what type of, how to wield them. Anyway, I've got a Woolly Mammoth rider, not the Stonehorn, the other one, Thunder Tusk rider, and I've got Formorn Van Cav because, well, just because really I've got the models, so it's quite a sort of Nigel Stillman sort of list. You know, Nigel Stillman's rules of Warhammer are give everything a name, take the models you want, and hopefully it does alright, and just have fun. So that's what I'm going to do. Basically Dan Buchanan messaged me like, I don't think it was it was actually about a week ago, saying, oh, I've had a bloke who might drop out of this tournament, do you want to turn up? And I'm like, yeah. And then he said, oh no, he's coming, sorry. And then like a day later he said, oh, I've had another bloke drop out. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I've penciled it in my diary. That does mean that I'm actually going to have to base these bloody ogres now, because I thought I could probably get them all rebased by the end of the week. And to be fair, it didn't take me very long in the end, but I hate rebasing stuff. It winds me up. So yeah, they're all done. They're sort of lodged underneath this chair. One thing I have noticed about the old world, like going to tournaments, is it's so much easier than frickin' Age of Sigmar. Because Age of Sigmar, all the models are massive, so you've got to sort of work out a way of transporting all your very delicate, massive plastic things that things break off of very, very easily. Like, you know, my Archaon, for instance, I've put him on top of a realm gate, so he's like, I don't know, he's about 2 foot tall. So it's a massive model. And I'm like going to tournaments thinking, how the bejesus am I going to get this bloody thing? Typically what actually ends up happening is I end up putting him on the back seat and strapping him in, like with a jumper around him to protect him, but then actually like clip him into like an actual car seat sort of thing, which is just nuts. It's just silly. But you know, that's AOS. The models are great, but they're great. They're not too big. They're what they are. But yeah, so yeah. Turning into Vicky off that comedy program that I forgot the name of. I'm not firing on all cylinders today, to be honest. I'm feeling really not very well. No, not very well. So the other thing that happened to me yesterday is I was judging a sausage competition it's basically the South Lincolnshire's best sausage competition. So I had to eat sort of somewhere in the region of 30 to 40 sausages yesterday. So consequently today I'm full of salt. I'm so dried out. Like, I'm so dehydrated. Like, because I do like strongman and stuff, I've got to drink like 4 litres of water anyway a day, at least, ideally 5 or 6. And this isn't even a litre. I wanted to get a litre and a half in me before I even got there, to be honest. I suppose I have drunk a litre already. Yeah, this will get me onto a litre. Anyway, so because I do that, like, I need a lot of water anyway. I'm a bit of a big beast. So, you know, all that sausage meat, all that salt has just driven it out of me. I still need to have some breakfast, and I need high protein and low salt, and that's I don't just want to rock up to a supermarket and buy like a pack of chicken breasts because it tastes rancid. Don't like supermarket meat at all. But anyway, why am I even talking? That's not anything to do with Old World. So the list is, you know, pretty awful. 1750 is a very awkward points limit for ogres, to be honest, because everything's really big and expensive. If I'd had another 250 points, I'd have been able to take some decent artifacts on my characters and taken another 4 Mournfang Cav, and the list would have been a bit more fleshed out, as it were. So my tactic's going to be probably refused flank. So how that works is basically you have your infantry on one flank, your cavalry on another, and you refuse your infantry's flank whilst your cavalry outflank them on the other and just drive through their force. So it's just like rather than like Horns of the Bull, or like, which is like where you attack them from both sides with a pincer from your cavalry. It's basically a one-sided version of that. So that's probably going to be the tactic. I can't really do Horns of the Bull. Horns of the Bull's like it's the what were they? Islandwana, Rorke's Drift, Zulus. So it's the Zulu tactic of basically you charge them, your opponent, with some of your infantry, probably about a third of your infantry, and then they fight and commit, to the combat. That charge isn't designed to win, though. That charge is designed to soften the enemy up, and then they pretend to fall back in disarray. And then as they fall back in disarray, your forces get around the flanks and form like a Horns of the Bull around your opponent, and then you attack them from all sides. Then you re-engage on all sides as they're pursuing your force. So I can't really do that because I don't have anything expendable that I can run away and get them to come after me with. Sort of bait them into coming after me. So it's going to be really difficult today. Like for instance, if somebody's just got a unit of like 4 Chaos Knights of Khorne, right, they can charge into my bulls with impunity, really, because that's like what, 8, 9 attacks, hitting on I think 3s, so that's 6 hit, like wounding on 2s, so that's 5 wound. That's like 1 bull and a bit dead, and I might swing back and kill 2 of them, but you've done 5 wounds. I do like 2 or 3. You win combat. Like, it's not a very good list, but it's what I've got, and I decided to take ogres, which is I'm regretting my life choices already. Should have taken chaos, but never mind. Just going for fun. It's all a bit last minute. It's only a 3-game tournament. It's only a 1-dayer, so we'll see. Realistic ambitions. I'd like to win a game out of the 3. I think if I get 1 game, I'll be happy. If I get 2, I'll be delighted. If I get 3, I will be very, very surprised. I can't really see that, but there's an outside chance that I've misunderestimated how good lots of wounds are, so whatever, or I've misunderestimated how good a terror-causing Stonehorn with loads of impact hits and a big shouty ogre on top that doesn't seem to die is. That might just be really good against like dragons, so like somebody might charge a high elf dragon into it and he could do a bit of shenanigans. The Stonehorn's an interesting one because it's because a stone skeleton, right? If you hit it with a multiple wounds weapon, then you reduce the number of wounds caused by 1 to a minimum of 1, which is, I think, pretty good. I'd like it to be immune to Monster Slayer as well, but it's not. That's probably what's going to happen. I'm going to have Bretonnian's first game. He's going to have the Virtue of Heroism. The Virtue of Heroism dude is going to charge into the Stonehorn, roll 6 to wound, and I'm just going to die. And then the rest of the army is just going to flake away to his cavalry. I'd imagine that's probably what's going to happen. Although actually, that Bretonnia might be quite close because they're not high strength. I think. To be honest, I think the best unit in the entire game are Chaos Knights. Chaos Knights of Khorne, absolutely stellar. Like, they've got loads of attacks, they've got high strength, high initiative, and they're not that expensive. Like, pretty cheap. So, I know which direction my... the problem is you don't want more than 5 in a unit because it's a bit of a waste. I've seen some people rolling around with like units of 4 Chaos Knights of Khorne, which I think is pretty interesting. Like I said, they're probably the best unit in the game, but like they're sort of, well, aside from the fact that you don't really want big units because it's just a waste because the others don't get to fight ever, you're just adding sort of more durability, but that's not really what they're there for. They're there to die. They're there to charge in, hit hard, and then probably die, but they're cheap enough that that's fine. They're cheap enough that you can lose, like, you know, because if you lose like all your screens, so like my Chaos list, if I lost all my dog screens, all my Knights of Khorne units, you know, what have I, you know, how many points is that? It's like 500 or 600. So if I table my opponent or get close to and lose 500 or 600, I've got a pretty solid victory on average. So that's that. And that's been my experience so far of using them. That's how Chaos seems to work with me. But then again, I've not come up against like a cannon heavy army. I've still not played High Elves yet. I've got a game against a chap called Mark with his High Elves on Wednesday. It's our slow grow campaign. I'm taking Chaos. I'm up to 1250 points this week, so 1250 against a High Elf army, which will be pretty interesting. And also his are beautifully painted. They're just lovely. But anyway, oh, dearie me, so dehydrated. Oh. Well, you know, you get dehydration, brain fog. I've definitely got that. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to try to record the event as much as I can. It's probably going to be quite difficult though, because, you know, it's a private place. I don't like recording things in a private place. I've not cleared it with the organiser beforehand. What I do need to do realistically is get like a camera set up so I can record tournaments. So, you know, like where I have an overhead and stuff, so I can go along and just like record the top table or whatever. That would be pretty cool. But I like competing, so I don't want to do that. Yeah, I don't know what's best really. What I'd like to do actually, what I'd really like to do is go and win a big 5-game tournament in the old world, and then say, right, hanging up my competing boots now, and then get a camera set up and start recording stuff. But you know, that's probably not going to happen because I'm not. I like going to tournaments. I like the people. I like the competitiveness of it. I like the gamesmanship or shithousery of it. I quite like that. I like everything about tournaments, but I'm not one of those massively competitive, win at all costs players. And you tend to find people who actually win tournaments are a bit like that. Like they get really, really wound up when they don't win games. You know, and they quite often cheat to win games. It's just because they're getting excited and they really, really, really want to win. It's not like a deliberate thing. It's like a subconscious thing. You see it all the time, and it's, you know, it's not conscious of these people. These people are just hyper competitive and will, you know, and do more or less. But you only really find that on the top tables. Like you don't tend to find that. I find the best games are on the middle tables, because the people on the bottom tables are normally quite depressed that they're not doing very well. Like, people who go to tournaments are competitive. That's why they're at a tournament. So if you're on the bottom tables, it's not a lot of fun, right? Because you get opponents who are just desperate to win a game. Like, I mean, not always, but in general. On the top tables, you tend to get people who are really super competitive, and they're just doing, you know, they're not doing big cheating, but they're just like adding half an inch to moves because they just want to. I just want to make sure I'm in, and they'll do stuff like readjusting things and just knocking bits back just slightly in the wrong place, and just little tiny transgressions all over the table. And that kind of goes on. I suppose it happens all over the place, really, but I find it's more concentrated towards the top because those games matter more. Like, because everybody who's on the top tables, they've got a realistic chance of podiuming, whereas like people towards the bottom, not. They just want to win a game, really. What is this guy doing? Sorry, I'm on what we in the UK call a dual carriageway, which is it's like a sort of highway sort of thing. It's like in between a main road and a motorway. So the national speed limit applies, which is 70 miles per hour, and often people ignore it and do weird stuff. I'm coming up to a roundabout, and this is in Lincolnshire, where people aren't used to motorway driving, and it's a weekend, so people are doing weird stuff. Don't know why. Well, I'm sharing that with you because if you see the phone fly off somewhere, it's because like somebody is going approximately HN66EHM is the license plate, is going approximately 100 miles an hour and undercutting me, followed by Papa Echo 72 X-Ray Yankee Oscar. Just blazing through on the inside there, going approximately 30 miles per hour over the speed limit, which is excellent. And they're off to Peterborough. Anyway, I don't know why I'm commenting on drivers, really. God, I'm starving. After all those sausages, I'm still hungry. Yeah, anyway, so I'm not really super competitive. I don't really, I like competing, but I'm not that bothered about winning. I know that's a bit weird, and maybe you don't understand that, but I like the competition, but winning doesn't really matter that much. To me, anyway. I like a debate, but I don't have to win it. Do you know what I mean? I don't know whether anybody else feels like that, but in fact, sometimes I'd often prefer other people win it because I like making people happy. So, if that makes them happy, that kind of makes me happy. Whereas if me winning makes them sad, it kind of makes me a bit sad. So, yes, yeah, total weirdo. Yeah, cool. Right, anyway, I'm going to stop waffling now and focus on driving, and I shall hopefully provide you an update later on today after game 1. Toodaloo.